All right, so I got it moved over here. Ideally, I would have wanted to back out of the driveway and then turn around and back in the garage, but once I got out there, the ice kind of compounded my issues there, and it was just hard to maneuver around. And then pretty soon I felt my front end sink again. This just started leaking out like a sieve. What I'm thinking it is, you can see down there, I think this is where it was when I was out in the driveway. I could actually put my hand down there and I could feel air shooting out. So it looks like the sidewall actually just gave out here. There's a big crack in it. So I'm not sure what exactly was the final straw. It doesn't look like anything sharp got jammed in there. It was just kind of a tire failure. Not exactly sure how old these tires are. I don't think they're too many years old. I just had them rotated and inspected, but they were on here when I bought this truck about 3 years ago. So probably time for a new set here. Kind of walk through the tire change here. I mean, it's really no different than any other vehicle. The main uniqueness of it kind of comes with getting the spare tire out. First thing you got to do is actually go under the hood. And then right up here in front, I've only got 2 pieces out of the 3. This is a rod that you have to assemble, and then there's an area in the back, which I'll show you in just a second, where you put that in to crank down your spare tire, which is lodged up underneath your pickup box. To be honest, there's a third piece. I'm not sure what that actually looks like. But I'm assuming it's some kind of handle that goes on the end, because right now, if I put this together, I just got a straight rod. And what I have to end up doing is actually putting a vice grip on the rod to actually turn it and crank down that spare tire. So let's give that a try now. All right, so well, in theory, this is a pretty good design. I'm not really a big fan of it. The idea is you stick this long rod into this hole, and then way back in there, which I think I'm going to have to go underneath the pickup to see it. So the first thing you got to do here is get your bearings when you're in the back of the pickup, getting your spare tire down. So there that is right there. It's just held on by this kind of big wing nut thing. And there's a cable that goes up and down. And basically, when the cable goes up far enough, the tire itself just is tensioned against the frame of the pickup, and that's how it's held there. So we have to use that rod. There's a crank somewhere way back up in here that we have to go through the back underneath the tailgate, attach that rod to it, and then lower down this spare tire. So like I said, it's not that easy. So it's actually going to go at an angle. So if you focus on this hole here, you actually have to kind of look behind. All right, so here's a better angle with the camera. Your tire is right down here. That's part of the frame there. You see that protected cord running across. So that hole right there, that's what we're going to need to actually get the rod into. And you can kind of see in there, there's that little metal piece way to the right. I think it's actually centered, but just the angle the camera is here. I've actually got my camera up and behind the back bumper right now. I'm kind of just looking at it through that outer hole in the bumper that I showed you before. So you just have to guide that rod back in there and get it seated in that little, I don't know what you'd call that there, but just get it seated in that little socket, I guess is what you would call it. All right, so these rods attach together like this. There's kind of this hook end. It looks like that. That's what's actually going to go in that socket. And then if you're lucky enough to have a handle or whatever goes down here, you'd put that on down here. And then hopefully that's like some kind of T-handle you could use to just spin this rod. So I'm going to go like this. And there's that hole farther away now. And then once you've got it through both of those, the real trick is to get it seated in that little socket thing in there. Which wouldn't be too hard, but it's so hard to see back there. Especially if you got too much light in the background or not enough light. So let me just put the camera down while I try to get to that. All right, so it's in there now. If you have the right kind of flashlight with directional lighting, you can see in there. To actually get it in there, and then you should know for sure it's in there. You won't be able to turn the rod more than like a quarter turn each way, or probably more like an eighth turn each way. So it's basically locked in there. That is if you're just turning on the rod itself. If you've got a handle or something, you should be able to turn it. So once again, I don't have that. So what I do, you can see I've got some marks here. So sometimes I don't even use this second extension. So what I do is I put this vice grip on here, and then I should be able to turn this thing fairly easily. I basically just get it back far enough where it clears the bumper. And the main thing you kind of got to worry about is keeping that inward pressure on that little socket, because it doesn't really lock in there. It just sets in there while you're also turning it. And so after a few turns, now the tire is free. You're going to have to get it down further than that, though, to actually get it off. And it probably wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't always doing this in extreme conditions. Today I'm literally sitting on a sheet of ice. Just because the pickup's so big, I can't really get a better position for it. And B, when your tire's flat, you can't really move things around to get them in an ideal spot to do these kinds of things. So. All right, so all in all, that's not too bad. Got the tire all the way down now, so that's good. And now I can come in here. So this sits here, so you kind of got to angle this to get it out. So I'm gonna lift this up and just stick it through. And then when you're putting it back on, just do the opposite, of course. All right, so now at least the hard part's over, getting that out of there. I'm not going to worry about putting one back in there until I actually get the primary tire repaired, and then I'll probably just put the spare back in there. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got a little bit better weather when you're doing this. Hopefully it's not too cold or too hot, or you're not out on the road somewhere. I guess on the bright side, this happened in my garage, so it was fairly easy to contain, and it's going to be easy to swap this out overall, kind of despite the ice and everything going on here. But hope this video helps you out, and if you're having an issue trying to figure out how to get that spare tire down in your F-250 or similar Fords. So again, hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching.